what we can observe that there is a huge amount of claims and of labels out there, many of them still self-declared, where we are expecting, at least for the European Union, that they will drastically go down because the Green Claims Directive wants to avoid misleading environmental communication and wants to inform consumers much better and put much more rigor on that. So the expectation is that no environmental claim on any product that is coming to the European market without a verification of that claim behind that. What it exactly means, we don't know yet because it's still under development and it's not final, but it's a huge effort done by the European Commission to set up programs to allow trustworthy environmental communication in the future. So if I think of a bad example of environmental or sustainability information, I came across sunglasses in a drugstore, and the sunglass was claimed to be carbon neutral. And with carbon neutrality, it's a special topic. It's even more challenging. But what I then investigated, I checked, it says it's a carbon neutral sunglasses. My expectation when someone claims carbon neutrality is that I know how much it has been generating before it has been compensated. So I would expect the information how much CO2 equivalents the production of those sunglasses. And I'm very sure that this has been the case, that there was a product carbon footprint related to that production because it was made of glass and of plastics and made in China. So there was transport involved. So I was really looking for the information. What did they do to calculate that product carbon footprint? So how big it was before they neutralized it with a carbon offsetting or so-called compensation. And none of that information was available, not in the supermarket, not on a website, because I really was curious then if there is something, even if I dig into that. And so that I would call it's really bad environmental information because it says, okay, if I buy these sunglasses, I do something good for the environment because it's carbon neutral. But I cannot understand how and what has been done in order to make that. And so that is not a trustworthy environmental claim. So when we say something about carbon footprints on products, the number in CO2 equivalents, so the product carbon footprint needs to be there. This information is a question of transparency, and it's considered only good practice even if you do offsetting and if you want to say this has been made carbon neutral, you do that separately. And then you give information on how you have reached that compensation, which type of projects you have been investing in. But it might be the case that carbon neutrality claims in the future will totally disappear and will no longer be allowed at all. Because what we are interested in, we want to see if a product has a carbon footprint of this generation of a certain amount, and then we see the next generation, and then we see it's lower. And we see that this company for that product is taking efforts in lowering the product carbon footprint, in decarbonizing, and not only investing, even if investment in certain projects might be important, but we don't want to see that because we cannot decarbonize by just offsetting. Our production systems fully need to become decarbonized. And so we have to see this path. For this product, the path for decarbonization is happening. And that is at least better environmental communication.